Sup Players, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Danish Nationals video. By the way, before we jump into this video, I talked to Legish, which is the one that have streamed the whole event, and he told me it's fine that you upload the videos, but give me some form of credit in the videos. So in the next future videos of this, I will be making, just like in this video down in the corner, made by Legish 1590. That is his YouTube name here. Give him a subscribe because he actually allowed me to use this content. So yeah. But yeah, without further ado, it's round 4. Let's get into this. Again, I will say massive shout out to him. I will also be putting links down below in the description to his channel, so you can check it out by that. So yeah. But yeah, you guys already know what decks that are playing. I don't know it yet, but hopefully we will be figuring it. Hopefully we will figure it out pretty quickly. I will say that. So yeah. And if you can hear something in the background, I am working on my computer as well beside this. So I'm doing sort of two things at one right now. But as we guys can see here, we start out with Runick cards, and I believe this is Runick Destruction that summons Hugin from the X deck. So already off to a start. We're playing Runick right now. So yeah. We get player right is playing Runick, so yeah, that's definitely a card. That's definitely a deck, I will say. But yeah. Basically, I will say I'm actually surprised that Runick still are in the format. I know the Runick deck itself hasn't like that got a hit in some sort of way. You can still perfectly play it, but it now depends about which decks would you like to put the Runick engine in, because it is a really big engine. Like it really needs a lot of space. Like I believe that the Runick engine itself is as big as the Purely engine, basically. So that still means that you need to play at least 20 cards of this, which makes it off that you can basically play 29 engine, but still. And as we can see here, we are playing against some branded, or the Runick player is playing against some branded, because branded in High Spirit were just banished by the effect of one of the Runick cards here. So yeah, I will say it's actually also funny to see the branded deck once again. Like, it has been such a long time since I last have seen branded in the format. So yeah, being able to, still see the deck in action, that's what's it called? That's actually awesome to see some of the other what's it called? Some of the other decks that are in the format right now. It's fun to see. But it also looks like that the Runick player here is playing some sort of Bystial engine. So maybe it's Runick Bystial. It looks like it, because you're playing the Guiding Quem as well. And then you're playing the Incredible Ecclesia. Like, I will say that might be the dump for what's it called, for Quem. But it makes sense. The Runick Bystial and the Runick Bystial deck is really strong. It were the deck that Joshua Smith used back in I believe it's were 2023 of what's it called? Bologna. The YCS back in Bologna in 2023. I believe that were the YCS that he won with Runick. But yeah. And again, guys, I will say the Runick deck, it is interesting to think about, because then you have the Runick cards that basically saves you from all kinds of effects. It interrupts your opponents really well. And then we have the Bystial engine as well as the Chaos Angel here that basically just is big beat sticks that, what's it called? That basically allows you to go all in. Alright, so we start out here with Allure of Darkness. That's pretty interesting to see, especially in branded. But then again, if the it is a way to banish if they play the Despia engine as well, which they probably do. It is an interesting way to banish, what's it called? Yeah, both Fallen of Albas, but also Despia and Tragedy, Tragedy, Tragedy to search after a Despia monster. But yeah, pretty interesting. And oh, it were another Allure of Darkness, so yeah. Because this also gives up the, what's it called? This also gives up the opportunity of fusion summoning into one of the fusion dragons that requires Fallen of Albas. And there we do have, it looks like, yeah, it's Blazing Kha'Zix, the new artwork, which is just, I will say, it's the Merry Christmas for branded players, because all of the artworks we got out of Stampede, holy smoke, guys, it's insane to think about. So yeah, but I really love the fact about that some people still, stick to a deck because it is still really good. I would say yes, branded. What have they lost? Okay, they have lost branded fusion. It's down at 1 now. Um, but then again, the deck itself doesn't really need that much else. Like, it hasn't taken a big hit from the previous ban list and stuff like that. So I would say it's basically, of course, it is still a deck that loses to some hand traps, but then again, all decks does. Like, even Bystial loses to some hand traps. They are just, in some sort of way, better at playing around different hand traps, but then again, it depends a lot on the cards that gets thrown at them. And that is just my opinion overall. But yeah, as we can see here, they have begun their fusion climbing of the dragons, I will say, because now we are going into Albion, and then the player on the right here plays Ghost over. I believe that it is to pop Albion, so it will not banish itself, I believe. But it depends a lot on how the wording is. It also depends on if it were a looper that were, what's it called? Used, but yeah. Alright, going into Lubellion the Searing Dragon here. And Lubellion will activate shuffling back to fusion materials here. So again, it depends a lot if the player on the right, the Runick player, does have any interruptions to go against this. Well, then it depends a lot on that. Because what I can see right now is that it could mean that the branded player here have the out in some sort of way. But the problem is that Chaos Angel, or basically just synchro monsters that the Runick player has, cannot be targeted by activated effects, or is cannot be destroyed. Activated monster effects. They are unaffected by activated monster effects, and they cannot be destroyed by battle. And now we have, is that flashing fire or is it destruction? It looks a little bit like destruction in some sort of way. So yeah. Alright, so we have branded and red here. Chained to, I believe we chained it to Runick, the Runick spell here. So we revived back Guiding Quem because it's always treated as a Despia monster, so that makes sense to summon her, because now he can go into Grand Grunil, or yeah, the Dusk Dragon. We all know what what I meant. And I believe that the Dust Drag. Oh no, we're going into courses. Another branded in red. I see just what I can see, at least. Or yeah, into Gregorial. Oh, it's because of blazing Katisha. Right, right. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Because I thought to myself, why is it that he can just summon out spam out another monster? And that were why I thought, okay, he activated a second Brandon in red. But no. I also believe that you can only use one Brandon in red once per turn, but anyways, it's not important. The most important thing is here is the duel itself. And now we have Mirror Jade on the field alongside with the Dusk Dragon. So yeah. And now Runick Fountain activates to draw what? A single card? One card? It looks like one card. So yeah. That's also interesting to think about how he can get out of this. I know that Chaos Angel will not be affected of what's it called of Mirror Jade's effect because it's unaffected by activated effects, monster effects. So yeah. So yeah, it depends a lot on what they will do, and I believe that the player left here is just reading how Hugin works. So yeah, but it depends again on how what's it called how the wording on some in some situations is, but then again it depends a lot on the different things, and I can see here that the branded player banishes Hugin, which I mean prevents us from returning to the extra deck. Plus, he just attacks into Chaos Angel. But wasn't Chaos Angel used summoned out by Light and Darks? So wouldn't it survive because of Mirror Jade's effect? Like, just what I can see here, guys, it looks like that the branded player here tries to destroy Chaos Angel, but because they were used by Light and Dark, if it were used by Light and Dark, but it looks like he were, so wasn't he? Wasn't he used by Light and Dark? I believe so. So it and yeah, it looks like that there were just a judge over and over the duel. I also believe it were there were I cannot speak now. God damn. I also believe it were Legis himself because I could. It looks. I feel like that I recognize that tattoo there. So yeah, but again, it depends a lot on the wording on Mirror Jade and also on Chaos Angel because if Chaos Angel were what's it called summoned by using what's it called both light and darks, then it's unaffected by activated monster effects. But I believe that Mirror Jade actually what's it called? I believe that Mirror Jade actually destroys and it's not an activated effect. So I believe that is the case here as well. So yeah. I believe that is the case here. So Chaos Angel will be destroyed either way because it's not an activated effect. It's more like an what can you call it? It's not an ignition. It's not a. It's not. It's a non-activated effect. So yeah. Um, which is pretty interesting that it can make such a big difference. But again, it depends a lot on how the wording is. How the wording is on the card. That is the biggest factor here that we need to think about. I believe that Mirror Jade actually isn't an activated effect. So yeah, but again, that is just my, what's it called? My watch from it, because right now I'm just reacting to the match. I wasn't there. I wasn't standing right beside it, and I did not see them play in real life. I only see it through a screen right now. So again, it depends on the wording, but I believe that, yeah, because of how the word because of how Mirror Jade is worded, I believe that is the reason for why Chaos Angel were destroyed. But we can see here that the player right here activates Runick tip either to search or summon. Many times use search, and he also searches in this scenario right here, searching after Runick destruction, it looks like. And then it's the top card that vanishes, and I could not see what that were, but yeah. And now something else is happening. Maybe it's Quim. Quim's effect that dumps Fawn of Albas or cards or card that mentions the card, so yeah. Again, depends a lot on the different situations. And depends a lot on what card effects there that were activated of the given moment. So yeah. And now we activate Destruction to destroy the Spell Trap card. And the player left here is thinking a little bit. Maybe he has a Bystial in mind, or maybe it's something else. And he activated a card that I cannot see what card it is. So yeah, that's crazy. Oh, it's Called by the Grave that he activated. Sure. And he decides to pick on um the Ash Blossom. Maybe he sits with that branded fusion right now. Who knows? And it's top 2, and there another form of Albus has been banished to the Shadow Realm. So yeah. That's crazy actually to think about that. And that is also something that I really think is funny. It reminds me of a time where I played Castira at locals, and then I banished all 3 starters of my opponent's deck with Rysart. So yeah. But we still have Dusk Dragon on the field here, as I can see, alongside with the Guiding Quim. Does our player left have anything here that he can do? But yeah, and it also, yeah, it looks like that our Runick player here has activated Flashing Fire to summon. Whatever will he summon? Another Hugin. I mean, it is a 2-off in their X deck, so yeah, makes sense to play it again. But that, I can also see the branded player is one of those people that wants to bling out their entire branded deck. So yeah, there's a lot of QCs in that deck. So he summons out Phone of Albas, and then Albas will activate? Question mark? Will Albas activate? That is the question of all time. Yeah, it looks like that he activates Albas to. He discards Branded and High Spirit to fusion summon by using Albas and a monster on the field, potentially going into Mirror Jade here. So yeah. Hmm. we are thinking a little bit about it, thinking a little bit about the situation. What is that? Oh, it's branded punishment, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is branded punishment. So yeah, really, really cool that he changed that. So he revives back Mirror Jade and summons by using Elbas and Hugin. And now we have a little bit of an explanation. And I also believe that the opponent here, the Runick player here, is a little confused about that. I don't know if it's because that he just summoned Mirror Jade right away, because I think that the Runick player thought that branded banishment only allowed the player to revive back Fall of Elbas. But no, it also allows him to revive back a level 8 or higher Dragon Fusion monster or Fusion monster from his graveyard to his hand and then summon it. I believe that is how, what's it called? The thing works. But yeah, that's actually where game number 1 won by the branded player. It's actually funny to see that branded still is keeping. It still keeps its level to, decks like the Runick deck. But yeah, quick siding out. So I will say throughout the game 1 here, I will say the brand player definitely had more gas overall rather than just the Runick player. Because the Runick player, there were times where he kind of could maybe have done something else. I don't know. I haven't been playing Runick forever. Basically, I haven't played Runick ever. So yeah, I have only tested the deck once or twice, and then I thought to myself, nah, I actually want to play a deck that doesn't take up half my deck in just engine. That I know that purely is also the same kind of thing there, but yeah, that's basically what I just feel about those kind of decks. So yeah. But yeah, I will say that basically in the end, I will say that the branded player here definitely had um the better amount of cards. I will say, and he definitely also had the most gash. It's called gas. Okay, not gash. I don't know what the hell that word that why I just made a tongue twister. But yeah. Basically, guys, I will say that it were much in the branded player's favor right here. Um, I will say that the Runick player couldn't have done that much else than he did. I will say he played the best that he could. To be honest, that he ended on basically to begin with, he ended on the Hugin plus Chaos Angel, but again, it doesn't. I will say it feels like that there wasn't space for follow up in that type of situation. There depends a lot on how many Runick cards that he had in the hand. But yeah, maybe he can redeem himself at round 2, game 2 here, that we will get into shortly. So yeah, but it looks like that we are about to begin game number 2. So can the Runick player redeem himself? It's a really good question. We won't find out until we have watched the entire duel. So maybe this duel will be just as long as the previous one, because we only have like 20 minutes left on clock. So alright, so Runick Flashing Fire looks like to summon, maybe, and our branded player here changed Fuvalas, so he will be drawing one card. That's crazy. One card already. Then Hugin will search after Runick Fountain. Then it depends a lot if the opponent does have Droll. But again, it doesn't really affect the deck that much. If Droll is live, I know in terms of what's it called? In terms of Runick Fountain's effect, sure. Then Droll might be something, but yeah, so Runick something to protect, I believe. It protects the Human. Hmm. What is happening? It's Mercury that resolves. Right. I was just like, why is the branded player searching his deck? And then I realized, okay, Mercury were banished. So that's the reason for behind the search. I'm just moving some stuff quickly onto some of my boxes, and yeah, that is why there will be a little bit of sound in the background, maybe, guys. I apologize for that. So yeah, um, but that's definitely a card, and now we are summoning out Guiding Quim, allowing us to dump one of the Cartesias, or one of the Cartesias, and Ecclesias. So yeah, that's really I will say that's a really good effect to just dump a card that you want to get dumped, and there's a fly flying around in my room right now, so that's also fun. Have a little visitor, which I do not apply to. I will say that it's not the best thing. I will say that I it it, uh, it distracts me just a little bit. It distracts me just a little bit. But yeah, and now we do have this payer on the field. That summons back. What is that? Ecclesia? Oh, yeah, it is Ecclesia. I can see that. Um. So yeah. Um. Hmm. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking on something on my computer right now. It's some work that I have to do. So yeah. That is just why there. That is just the reason for why I were quiet for a little bit of time. But yeah, we have got ourselves quite a board on what's it called, on the Runick players field. We now have some of the Bystial cards as well. So yeah, and the fly is just you know flying around. Let us see if our branded player can actually what's it called? Can play around this? Maybe he can. I wouldn't see why he couldn't. But yeah. Why is it that I cannot do that? Hmm. Alright. I hate this type of work. God damn it. Alright. So yeah, we're back in the duel, guys. I were just distracted for a little bit of moment, but yeah. So basically, we have acted a fusion deployment here, revealed one of the fusions. I believe that most of the times the reveal. Oh, it was Fallen of Albas. Well, peachy. That's something. Could he go for Albalina Tusa's um hmm. He if you play I don't know if he plays Albalina Tus, but then you can definitely just contact Fuse by doing that. Like summon out Fallen of Albas and then just contact Fuse with dragons on the field. Which would have led to, I would say, the defeat of the Bystial engine in this deck, and he might have won a little bit quicker here. Of course, if you don't play it, then that's obviously the reason behind it, but yeah. And the fly is flying around. I don't know if you can hear it on camera, guys, and I apologize if you can, but yeah. Huh. Apparently I cannot do that. Okay, that is just my fault. Okay. I believe that I actually got my stuff to work. Actually, but yeah. I would say there's been quite some um difference. Hmm. Yeah, as we can see here, guys, I'm doing some work on my laptop besides this, so yeah, and something just caught my attention, so that's the reason why I were silent. So yeah, but yeah, Basically, as we can see here, there's happening a lot of stuff over on the branded player side here. Apparently, he got rid of this Pater, I see, and yeah, I will say it doesn't look like that much. I know that, of course, I know that the Runick they probably do have some Runick cards in their hand. I don't know, maybe, maybe not, or other types of non-engine, maybe, because he still have Runick Fountain on the field, and so he still have access to that part of his engine. So yeah, but Mercury comes out on the field here. I see, and yeah, this Spader is also on the field. Maybe he stole the Spader. Maybe I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, basically, right now, guys, I see this as that the branded player has the most utilities to go into here. He have still a lot of gas left in the deck. Plus, the opponent doesn't really, interrupt that much else. Um, I see now that he revives. Is it Magnamut? Maybe it's Magnamut with regained. Yeah, it's Magnamut with regained. So yeah, why did he not declare effect? Don't know, but I love that shuffle with the graveyard there. Just putting all the cards down. I see. So yeah, I believe that we are waiting on Albion's effect to resolve to fusion summon. So that's probably what we are waiting for right now. I don't know. Maybe not. It definitely depends a lot on what the opponents still have, or yeah, the Runic players still have of cards. So yeah. So yeah, basically, right now I see no further reason for why the branded player should not what's it called, win this duel, because now we have the Chaos Zephyr Dragon. Isn't it what they call? 2 seconds. No, Chaos Star Source Dragon. My bad. And the reason for why I were so quick to it is because that I had a copy lying just you know a fingertip away from me. So that's the reason for why I knew the name, almost knew the name. But now Runic Fountain is popped alongside with Hugin. So yeah. Now that's basically one of the more, I would say, one of the more insane imports to have, especially because that basically, of course, he still needs to punch punch over Lobelian and also an Ecclesia, but then again, I believe that Ecclesia's the defense points isn't the most, isn't the highest. I know Lobelian has like, is it 2,000 defense or something like that? So it's still something, but again, there's not enough for a game on the board right here yet. Maybe the branded player will have an access to to some sort of combo. So yeah, and I'm just quickly writing something down while I'm still doing the voiceover. So yeah, but I actually don't know what he can possibly go into. Just to get an OTK out, except for if he's summoning Fallen of Albas away. Then it would probably make sense, but I don't know. I don't know yet, guys. In my opinion, it definitely looks like that. We again, it depends on the different things. Okay, now we go into battle phase. I see, and then Albion will attack over Ecclesia. Oh, it's the I did not see the Magnum. All right, so and then what is it? 2,500. Yeah, 2,500 to the face to the life points. I see. So yeah, we also get to see a little bit of a smarty phone, but yeah, basically it is definitely. I know if he still has 8,000 life points, which I imagine that he have, um, then of course we still have to deal with 5,500 life points. But with that said, what's it called? With that said, I don't think I feel like that the Runick player really needs to just heart of the cards top deck something. Especially also because that we have under 5 minutes left of this duel. So yeah, that's most likely also what in my terms of events, that is basically what I feel like that needs to happening. Um so yeah. Alright, so we summon out Quim. I don't know what's happening here. I got a message. That's the reason for why I did not see it. But yeah, Mirror Jade is on the field now, so that's something. And we had Guiding Quim that did send Katisha, so question mark, something happened. That is just my that is just my I were unaware of the situation, so yeah. Um but maybe it's because that he activated Branded in red and summoned the mirror tongue twister, the mirror jade to the field. That's probably the reason for it. So yeah. Um but yeah, it basically looks like that there isn't that much left of this duel. Especially also again we are around 3 minutes in. I know that okay now he searches with Drewsworm, so yeah. Or after Drewsworm with Magnamut, probably. Probably the effect of Magnamut that kicks in there. And then Mercury is on the field. I actually believe that Mercury is a negate when he's on the field because you can send him if you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albus. Then I believe he's a negate. I'm not quite sure. I cannot remember it quite well, but yeah, that's um just quickly answering a message that I got. But yeah, now we have Jerusalem on the field, which it can send one of the bigger bodies, but then again, what should it send, and what does it need to send? Because I believe that okay, this could potentially turn things around a little bit, maybe. I don't know because this could potentially be a Chaos Angel because we haven't seen him in this game. So yeah, and then Chaos Angel can banish one plus Jerusalem can send one, so it would basically be yeah a big body on the field. But can he get it within the time? Maybe. So far, what I have of information Okay, yeah, okay, he did put him down in the bottom of the deck with regained, so yeah. But my information is that he needs to deal at least 2,600 points. So yeah. And then we have Baldrake now on the field as well, so now we have the Chaos Angel, potentially. Yep, there he is. Um, and maybe. So yeah, it looks like it was a draw. So yeah, guys, that was basically everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.